Hi everyone, this is Moria from Edinburghblooms and I'm coming to you today with a tutorial on how to use my Twillies. I make bag organisers, bag shapers, base protectors, dust bags and various bag accessories. So please go on my website if you're interested in any of these products or my Twillies. There's two bags that we're going to use today to show you what most common bags that people buy their Twillies for. And my Twillies are all handmade by myself. I make them, I iron them, I sew them and I ship them to you. So you get everything from start to finish handmade. By myself. So we've got the Speedy and we've got a Neverfull to work with today, and let me just start by showing you the 3 Twillies that I can make, but I've got loads of other ideas, and if you've got something in mind, please get in touch. That's not a problem. It's a bespoke service, nothing's the same. It's always a wee bit different from customer to customer. Okay, so we'll start with the Twillies that I've prepared for today, which are all on the website. You can purchase them anytime and I will make them for you. So we've got the fancy one, which is my bee. There's a little bee on it, and it could be a heart or it could be like a diamond shape. I just opted for the diamond shape for this one, so I'll show you how to use this one. Very, very popular. It can go in any colour. Twilly, satin or tartan, which takes me to my second Twilly, which is quite popular, which is my tartan Twilly, which is sort of like a Burberry print, which I would call it. It's got the square ends. I can make triangle ends, but I like that one with a square. And the last one would be just your classic, very simple, dainty. You can have a little detail of a pearl on it if you want. You can keep it really, really simple. So let me show you the first bag, which is the Speedy, which I think is the most common bag that customers try and get their Twillies to get on it. And the main reason would be to protect the handles, which are vachetta, as you know. So I do make the bag organisers and the shapers for this bag, but today it's just a Twilly. So let's just start by making a preparation. Okay, you can use this little square to put your Twilly through that if you want. That might help you. Okay, so you go like that, you just put it through there and that kind of keeps it in place. Okay, then you do one wrap, just one. Okay, and that kind of covers it all. Now you can leave it there and just keep wrapping, or you can make a knot. Okay, so you can leave it here and it is quite secure. It actually doesn't really move, but I know a lot of people would really like a little knot on it as well. Yeah guys, so we just put it through the square and leave it like that. It is thick enough to stay put, and then all we do is we just go around the handle very, very easily. Don't have to make it too tight. You don't have to have a lot of layers. Try to move it around sort of like evenly, that it spreads out, so you would still have this side covering and overlapping the one before it. Okay, and just keep going. If it's too long, what you could do is just move it with your hand, sort of like this. You just start moving it back to where you started, and that creates more space on the handle. Okay, so we're nearly finished. Okay, so what you can do here, you can tie it, or once again, you just go through the little square. Okay, there we are. We didn't even need to put a knot in it. And it's absolutely fine, and if it gets a tiny bit loose, all you do is you just pull it down and it tightens everything. So that's all wrapped. Okay, that's your Speedy, and let's move on to the second Twilly that I've got, which is the bee. Let me just take this one off, and I want to show you how to use this one because it's a very popular one and the detail is in the bee, so we would like to put that bee up in front of the bag, and so people can see it. Okay, so this is slightly silkier, so maybe I wouldn't say it's fiddly, but it is a bit more, you know, it's a different technique with this one. And with this one, I actually do recommend to tie a knot because it will otherwise loosen off, and we don't want that. Okay, so we put the bee on the chap here. Okay, we wrap at the back. Okay, and now we have to make our knot for this one. We do need to make a knot for this one. So we just go underneath, just underneath here, and we pull it out, and that's your knot. And you could do that with the other Twillies as well if you want. So that creates our first tie. Okay, So that sits securely. So I've tied it. This is the first step of the silky twilly. And now same thing again, we're just going to start moving along the handle, wrapping it around. Nice and even, you know, try to overlap a little bit, but not too much. So you can just use sort of the whole length and not just half of the twilly, and then you're stuck with the other half. So I'm just going around and overlapping like I showed you, a little bit here and then a bit on the new bit of vachetta. Just keep going, and if you've ended up with a really long end, all you do is just kind of pull it back to where you are, and that creates more space on the handle. Okay, now be aware that I'm making it in front of the camera. You would be facing the bag to yourself, so it would actually be easier. This is quite tricky. And now I do exactly the same thing. In the last bit, I just insert my corner. There we are. Just going in, and you pull it out. And this is your perfect little bee twilly with the silky finish. So we started by a knot here, we've covered the handle and finished with a knot at the other end. And the last bag I'm going to show you with my classic cream twilly, which is sort of the champagne colour actually, but it is sort of cream, is my Neverfull. And the Neverfull is tricky because the handle is quite fiddly. It's longer, so you would require a longer twilly, but I'm okay with that and I could help you with that as well. So I'm just going to start by putting it here just for sort of like a decoration purpose, and then we're going to try and go around the handle. So that would be the second bag that you can use your twilly on, but obviously you've got so many bags that you can use it on, and I personally like it on a Gucci or even a Chanel. That could be a really pretty choice. So we just sort of halfway through the D-ring, and we just put a little nice bow around it. Super easy. Doesn't take long at all, but how pretty is it? For summer, for holidays, anything. Really nice. And let's try and do the handle and let's see if it works, because I had a customer requesting that option. So I just want to see if it works. So we'll start by making a knot, same as with the bee. So if you would have had your bee detail, you would maybe leave it here so people can see it. But we're just going to go with the corner here again, making a knot and inserting it through. Sorry. It's actually easier with the bee. I don't know why. I think the bee gives you some guidance as to where to leave it and where to tie it around. Oh. Okay. Okay, so we've got our beautiful corner, we've got our knot, and we're just going to start wrapping around. I just want to see how it looks, because I actually never done it on my Neverfull. But I know a customer that had one and she really wanted to put it on a Neverfull, mainly because the handles are quite new and people are really worried about staining them. So with the Neverfull, the technique would be pulling it up a bit more. So you wouldn't really overlap so much. You would just try to kind of spread it out and then wrap it round and then pull it up again. Just make the most of the fabric that you've already got. Yeah. So this one is slightly short, but obviously I can make it longer for you if you want. But in that case, all I'm going to do is just going to pull it up a bit and make the knot at the end here with the fabric I've got remaining. And I actually really like the look of the fabric gathering. I just think it looks sort of like a nice scrunchy handle protector thing. So we just go with the same again, and that is your... So yeah, so it doesn't even have to go all the way, and it still really is nice. Yeah, so you could do that, but obviously if the twilly's longer, it will cover the rest of it, and it should work. So that's it for today. I hope this helped you. Don't get too worried, it's just a twilly and you could do it. Follow the instructions. If you get any suggestions or anything you'd like me to help you with, please get in touch. I've got a website, Instagram and a Facebook. I'm also on Pinterest now if you're interested. Anything that you have in mind, please get in touch. Have a lovely weekend and thank you for joining me today.